We're going back live again. Should be live. Should be live. All right. I am back with Hank Strange. Somehow we lost sound and we had to end everything kind of Qu- qu- quickly there, but now we're back. We are back. Sorry about that, everyone. And now I gotta turn off the sound on my phone. All right.
Yeah.
No idea what happened there. Apparently the software wigged out on us, but whatever. All right, we're
Yeah.
back. We're
For
talking
everyone who
about
missed that,
we
it was
were
brilliant. We talked about life and the meaning of everything.
yeah, well, I mean, it was working, then everything cut off for some reason. But yeah, so basically, what we were talking about is Silicon Valley giants and the stifling of free speech. But I'm pretty much sure that's not what got us banned or anything. But I wanted to talk about a little bit about you, Hank, and
Okay.
everything your life and where you came from and all that other good
Okay.
stuff.
All right. I don't know. It's where do you want to start?
What I want to start is how did you get into guns?
I've always been into guns since I was as far back as I can remember, which is probably my earliest memories around 4 years old or something like that, right? So I've always been into guns. Typical guy. Was born in the '70s. So I always, back in my time, we had like, those guns that were made of metal and had some weight, and they had the little snap caps in them. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
Little roll of little gunpowder on a red roll thing, and when the hammer fell on it, you got a little explosion, a little bang out of it. So I've just always been into guns, but when my family came to live here in America, we were living in New York, and I kind of grew up there since I was around 11, 12 years old. And you can have guns in New York. It's just not super legal in most ways,
Oh yeah.
I guess is the best way to put it. But you can get anything in New York, even if it's illegal. You can get rocket launchers and grenades, and
Have to know where to
probably get
look.
an interballistic missile if you wanted one, if you had the money.
Bottom of Elizabeth
So
Center.
yeah.
Basement of Elizabeth
So
Center.
the so huh?
Basement of Elizabeth Center. You
Oh,
go.
okay.
They have pictures. You pick out what you want. They write it on a bag. And you take it to another store down the street. And you hand them the bag, and they go,
Yeah.
"Sorry here."
Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, I was always interested in it there, but didn't really get a chance to pursue it. And Lola and I and our kids, we we moved to Florida for that reason. To be honest with you, there were other reasons. I was tired of New York. We tried to get away. We went to New Jersey. That was actually worse. And then I was like, no, I've got to go to some place that's got more freedom than this place, and it's easier to live. So we wound up in Florida, and so shortly after I moved here, I decided, yeah, I'm going to go start buying guns and get a concealed carry permit and all that kind of stuff. And I've always made videos and been interested in making, production and everything. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to do YouTube and share my journey with people. So
So,
that was like 6 years ago.
and you shared your journey. Oh, so when you got into
Yeah.
YouTube, were you big into guns? I mean, I knew you were big into guns, but were you just getting big into guns, or were you big into guns for years before that, and just started making YouTube videos, or how did that work?
No, I mean, I started making YouTube videos very shortly after I bought my first gun. And because I think that goes back to like 2013. So I got in that that firearm again thing that happened
Yeah.
back in 2013. That's when I got in, and there were all these guns that I wanted. Like I've always been into bullpups, and I was trying to get my hands on like the first Tavor and KSG things like that. So I was like, hey, if I'm going to buy these guns and have them, I might as well share it with people. And I just started the YouTube channel. It was just a way to keep myself, to keep my skills, so to speak.
Do you like the Trevor?
Keep my. Yeah, I do.
How about the trigger?
The trigger on the Tavor sucked. There's several companies that make triggers. I have the Shooting Sight LLC one in my Tavor.
Yeah, it seems like
Yeah,
everyone who has those ends up replacing the trigger. And for a gun that
yeah,
expensive, I don't think you really should need to.
yeah. Especially when it first came out here, man. It was really expensive. It shouldn't be that way, but it's a trigger pack. It's actually pretty easy. I know Geisley has one, Shooting Sight LLC has one, and there was another someone else made a trigger pack for it. And of course the X95 that because I think they really discontinued those here.
Yeah.
You might find a few of them still out there, but the X95 has a better trigger, I think, than that Tavor. Um, and there's, for me, I've got tons of bullpups, to be honest with you. So I think depending on who's making it, the triggers are pretty good. I got last year I bought a FS2000 that has a horrible trigger. So that makes the Tavor trigger look awesome. So it's all it's on scale.
Yeah.
It's relative. Yeah.
I like bullpups, not as
Mm-hmm.
much as some other people. I would much rather just have a plain Jane AR than a
Right.
bullpup. It's just more comfortable. I like the idea of a bullpup, and I like the looks of a bullpup. It's just doesn't really work for me. You came
Mm-hmm.
to America. Where did you come from?
We moved here from Nigeria. That's where I was living. But I was originally born in Guyana, and then my family went to live in England for a while. And my father got his master's degree at Brunel, and that's one of the places that I saw. Because my dad was an engineer, we always had Popular Science, Popular Mechanic magazines laying around, and that's where I kind of like fell in love with bullpups. And then when you look at movies, you see all those things. So that's what I agree with you. AR way better. Easier to do. You can't really mess it up, but some people manage to mess up an AR anyway. But
Yep.
that's why I'm so into the bullpups. But so anyway, we moved around, and after he got his degree, his master's degree in engineering, then in metallurgical engineering, actually, we went to live in Nigeria, where he taught at a university in Nigeria for a couple of years. And we would travel to America and go other places. We would like travel around the world every year on vacation. And we came here one year uh, on vacation, and we decided to stay.
Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, a couple
Yeah.
episodes back, we actually had someone who had their PhD in metallurgic engineering and also aerospace engineering.
Hmm.
He was the guy that designed the micro meteor shielding on the ISS, and now
Okay.
he's making a bullet that doesn't violate the armor piercing ban, but is armor
Hmm.
piercing.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. I'm
Atlas
fascinated by
arms.
that stuff. Obviously, I don't have my dad's degree, and I think he just when we came to live here, he wound up just teaching, being a math teacher in New York. So I don't think he ever really he never really used that degree other than teaching.
Uh,
You know. So yeah.
yeah, a lot of
Um,
people don't. That's one of the downfalls of like uh, some people. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't call it a downfall, but a lot of people like teaching, and
mhm,
a lot of people follow their passion of teaching, and they're
mhm,
even though that they're overqualified to like be a teacher, but they
mhm,
have that passion, so they
mhm.
trade money for passion, which is not a bad thing, if you ask
No,
me.
no. No, and that's kind of like my family business, to be honest with you. My dad was a teacher. He's retired. My mother was a teacher. My younger brother is a teacher. And I think even what I'm doing on YouTube, even though I do not consider myself an expert in any of the stuff that I'm doing, I think in a way I'm kind of teaching people as I'm learning.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I've taught like martial arts, for example,
Hmm.
and I love teaching. It just I got used to the money of doing like encryption and engineering and stuff like that back in the
Hmm.
day. So then I was like, man, I can't give up this money, which I really should have a lot earlier
Yeah, yeah.
because you know. money's not happiness, of course.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
one thing that I do know that makes you happy is vets, Corvettes.
Vets.
Yeah, don't
Oh,
you like
Corvettes.
Corvettes?
I like the Corvette. I mean, I like cars. I like cars. I've been looking at the Corvette a lot lately. Like I like
Oh,
the idea of the C8 Corvette because it's mid-engine, but I like cars.
yeah.
Um, I like the technology behind cars. So,
Yeah, I do like the technology behind cars. Actually, technology and engineering is what got me into firearms.
hmm
I like the
hmm
technology and engineering behind firearms, so that's what actually
yeah.
got me into firearms. But getting back to firearms, though, since you're a firearms guy and everything like
hmm
that, last year you did a little trip across the country with
Right.
Brownells.
hmm
I think you met my editor Duncan on there as well.
Yes, yes, Duncan. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was cool.
yeah,
It was good hanging out with him. We did a lot of cool stuff, man. Like once in a lifetime kind of things.
yeah.
I always wanted to do like it had something to do for me personally with my love of cars, and I wanted to do Cannonball. Yeah, did you ever see the Cannonball movies? Cannonball
Yes,
Run?
of course.
Yeah,
Jackie Chan's first U.S. movie.
yeah,
Also, like
yeah.
Burt Reynolds and all those Don DeLuise. Great movies.
Right, right. Yeah, good movie. So we wanted to do something like that. The Brownells guys were cool enough to get involved and set everything up, and we got some other YouTubers and social media people together, like you said, Duncan. And we just traveled around the country.
Yeah. I wrote. I get to write about it. you know.
Yeah, you had to stay home and write the articles, right?
Yeah, Duncan sent
Well,
me
we
the
got to go out there
information,
and
then
have
I
fun.
write the
Yeah,
articles and stuff like that while hearing about all the cool stuff that you guys were doing and all the cool
right.
pictures and videos and
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff coming out that was a lot of fun. Shout out to anyone who's out there who saw us at any one of the stops. So everyone didn't the Brownells thing. I think we went from Florida. We started in Florida, and then I want to say we went to North Carolina, some one of the Carolinas. I have to look back at it and see. We did an event there, and then I think we came back down to was it? I think we did like Alabama and then Texas, and then we just kept making our way west until we wound up in Nevada and then California, and um, and then I think from was it did we do? I think we did California. Then we went up to Nevada, and then after that, everyone like separated, and I came back east from the top of America. So I kind of went to Utah and like Colorado, Utah, Iowa, I think, Kansas, and then made my way back down to Florida.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, that is would be a definite interesting thing. Did you enjoy Vegas?
Oh yeah, it was fun. I think in Vegas we did an event at Speed Vegas. So basically, you can go there, you can rent a supercar, and either you can have them drive you around the track, or you can drive the car around the track. I think Duncan went around the track in an Audi R8.
Yeah.
He drove, but I had someone drive me around the track in a Ferrari. I don't know, I think 458 or something like that.
You didn't drive it
It was
yourself?
cool. No, I should have done that. I should have done that because it's not fun being the passenger when someone's tearing around the track. I don't
Uh,
recommend it to anyone.
yeah,
It's better off for you to drive yourself.
I was at a place called a Panther Arms, and not,
hmm
I mean not, a Panther Training Center,
hmm
and they had a track there, and it was like a speed track, and
hmm
there was a SAS guy, former SAS guy,
hmm
driving us around a mile and a half track, in a Tahoe,
hmm
and we started going full speed backwards. Pulled a J turn,
Yeah,
took a turn going like 90 miles an hour and like a hairpin turn, like skidded around
without flipping.
without
Yeah.
flipping. Yeah, and then we went off road still like an unimproved road, they call it, and
Hmm.
just like flying around. It was the most scary. I mean, I've been in like race cars and stuff like that, done over like over 100 miles an hour and stuff like that. But it's kind of ridiculous what those guys can do with those cars.
Yeah.
Um,
If you're not driving, that's the scariest thing that can happen to you in a car when someone else is driving like that. If you're driving, you're focused on what you're doing. So I think that you know what you're doing and you don't panic so much. But when someone else is doing it, you're matching the brakes. You're like, "Oh, this is not gonna work." It's really scary. So I did get a chance to drive my own car on a track, but not in Vegas. We did that at Talladega Super Speedway.
oh wow.
So basically, yeah. So anyone who showed up, the Speedway guys were nice enough to let anyone who showed up take whatever they came with and put it on the track. So people came with minivans and dualies and all. Everyone was on the track
How, how
driving around. Yeah,
how fast do you get your car up to?
I got mine up to like 130 miles an hour.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So,
You own a
can
vet,
you hear
right?
me?
Yeah.
Huh?
You own a
Yeah.
vet, right?
No, I have an Audi R8.
Ah, interesting. I thought you had a vet for some reason.
No, I had a Challenger at one point. I did have a Dodge Challenger. That was a lot of fun. I never had a Corvette. I would like, you know what, the mid-engine Corvette. I'm all in, man. I'd love to get one of those.
You weren't dis-
My only complaint is that it's just rear-wheel drive right now. I prefer all-wheel drive, but we'll get that eventually.
you weren't disappointed with the horsepower.
495. It's entry level, so that's kind of. I had like, let me see, what did I have with my challenge? I had a Scat Pack Challenger, and that's like 485. So it's a little bit more than that, and that's a lot of power. Um, I think we're going to see more power than that in the future. Give it a year, 2, maybe 3 years, we'll see. 7, 800 horsepower. But it's gonna need all-wheel drive because you're really not putting all that down to the road. So,
Yeah, I was looking at the new Supra.
hmm
Interesting thing is there's a dealership near me that has the new Supra,
hmm
and
hmm
it's like 20,000 over MSRP.
yeah. I would say don't get the new Supra. That's like 350 horsepower.
Yeah,
If you're why get that when you can get a mid-engine Corvette for 60 grand? What's the new Supra? I think it's around 60. It's close to that.
it's 60, but um, it's but right now you can't touch it for below like 100 with the options and the markup
Really?
over MSRP.
No, I would just cancel if there's anyone out there. If let's say I ordered a Supra, I would just cancel that and order the Corvette, man. It's going to be way better.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just don't understand why anybody would pay that much over MSRP.
It happens. It happens. There's a lot of those cars that they go over MSRP. Usually, what you see is like 500, maybe 1,000. Some people go to 5,000. Yeah, I wouldn't unless you really, really want that car. I wouldn't do it. I think when I had my Challenger Scat Pack, that was about $500 over. You know,
Yeah,
which if you wait enough time, you won't have to do that. So if you really want a Supra, just wait, and you're not going to have to do that.
yeah.
Same thing with the Corvette.
The one that they had out here, it was $10,000 worth of options, and then a $30,000 a premium,
Hmm.
which I thought was just insane.
Yeah, but that happens in the gun world.
Yeah,
I
true.
think we see that in the gun world. I know it happens with couple companies like Keltec. They put out something new. Everybody wants that thing. Distributors make you think there's not enough of them, so then you wind up paying sometimes double what that thing costs to get one.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Keltec does that because uh, George Keller, whatever his name is, Keltec is basically his hobby company.
Oh, I don't agree with that. Kellgren, you're talking about George
Keller,
Kellgren?
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's a pretty serious company. I know that there's a myth out there, like there's a myth that Keltec only makes one gun every day. I've heard that myth. You hear it in gun stores.
No.
You hear it from distributors that like every day they get together and they're like, we're just going to make this one gun. It's a pretty big company. It's not the biggest that I've seen, but they've got something like 30, 40 CNC machines. They're making all those guns all the time. They're serious. They've got a couple hundred employees.
Yeah, why don't they expand? I mean,
They one of the reasons why Keltec is going to survive any firearms apocalypse or whatever you call it is because Keltec doesn't take any loans. They do everything cash.
I gotcha.
So yeah, so they're one of those companies that can survive anything, but also that means they don't rush into anything. So some other company, if they had the success of Keltec, they would probably take out big loans and grow faster. But I think that they're doing the right thing, you know, and they'll survive the stuff that's coming by not doing that. But it's frustrating when they first come out with a gun and we're waiting for the production to really ramp up and for it to get out there.
Didn't they have like something going on where they were in kind of like a dispute or some type of battle with Sky Firearms or something like that?
Yeah, I think the Sky pistol that's out is a clone of one of their 9 millimeter pistols. I forgot which one. One of those 9 millimeter handguns they have. That Sky pistol is a clone of that.
Yeah, but they're like
The
literally.
PF9. Yeah, I think it's like the PF9 or something. Just like Ruger ripped off their P3AT and made the Ruger LCP.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're like very close to each other.
Very close. The only difference is, well, first of all, if you have an 8% difference in the gun world, you can't get in trouble. People can try to sue you, but if it's 8%, like just think about that. That little small tiny difference, you can get away with it.
Yeah.
So, and then the thing is that Ruger actually improved. So they ripped off Keltec, but then they improved it because you've got the LCP2, right?
Yeah. Silverback from Gorilla and Guns says hi to Lola.
Oh, okay.
She walked
Silverback
by.
says, "What's up?" So yeah, you probably saw Lola walking by there. If you think she's not, then stop walking by. She's just trying to get attention.
Hey, Lola's
She's
cool.
walking around in Hulk pants.
Yeah, hey, you gotta tell Lola that I'm gonna contact her once I get back. I'm going away on Wednesday, or Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So once I get back
Okay.
from there in a week and a half, we can work out your website before then, but we'll jump on that after that.
All right, cool. Yeah. We got some stuff to do. That's cool. Yeah. Let me know if my earbuds go out. I heard a sound in there. I don't know if that's like a warning or what on my earbuds. If it goes out, I'll recharge it.
But it seems like Caltech is a very interesting company, and I think that they will do well in the upcoming gun apocalypse because there is always going to be one. Because I think with what happened today, I think there's going to be another rush on guns. And
maybe. I mean, I don't know if anything's going to kick up the market. You know, maybe the elections will do it in terms of everyone buying all the guns that exist. But right now, it doesn't really seem like anything's going to make that happen.